In this episode of the Chris Elliott Real Estate Show, we're talking about multiple offers when selling your home, how to get them, and more importantly, what to do once you have them. And now to the show.
Welcome to the Chris Elliott Real Estate Show, where we bring you insights into the local Central Virginia real estate market, go in-depth to answer your real estate questions and concerns, and interview local figures and influencers in the greater Richmond area. And now, let's get to the latest episode with your host, Chris Elliott, and co-host, Maddie Wright.
All right. I am Chris Elliott with Remax Action Real Estate, and I can't even hear myself over this dance music. Thank you, Mike Resendez, Studio 77, for all your podcasting and audio recording needs. I'm sitting here today with the wonderful, always lovely Maddie Wright. Maddie, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing very well. How was your Labor Day weekend?
It was good. It was not long enough.
Okay.
How was yours?
Did you survive the, what's David's last name?
Hey.
Oh, that's right. Hey. Did you survive the family get together?
I did. It was a blast. It was just largely really loud people and alcohol.
Okay.
Can't go wrong.
Good deal. Do you feel like you passed the test?
I should hope so. It's been long enough now to where if I haven't passed, we're kind of all screwed.
I gotta imagine, like, if you're the girlfriend at the family reunion, like, you're getting talked about, you're getting judged.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, that's it.
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
You said that, like, yeah, that's what we do at our family reunion.
That's actually literally exactly what I was about to say. I was going to say, anytime my family's around, they're judging whomever.
Well, you've got a lot of brothers and sisters, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got 7 sisters and a brother.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, like, let's talk about whoever's boyfriend, I would imagine.
Are you the youngest?
No, actually, I have 3 younger siblings. I have a 12-year-old brother, an 18-year-old sister, and an almost 20-year-old other sister that are all younger than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
She lives on a farm.
In West Virginia.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a long commute in. All right, so what are we talking about today, Maddie?
We are talking about what to do when you have multiple offers on your home, which is a great situation to be in.
I'll tell you, as an agent, it's probably one of the most fun scenarios that we deal with as a listing agent. It's hell if you're a buyer's agent because you're just fighting an uphill battle. But probably one of the most fun phone calls that we get to make is to call a client and say, hey, not only did we get you an offer, but we got you multiple offers on the property. Usually, if it's a multiple offer situation, it's happening, within the first week of a property being listed. So super, super fun. So what we're going to cover today, we're going to talk about what you can do to set yourself up to get multiple offers, and then what you need to do to handle those multiple offers and to navigate that situation correctly. All right, so first and foremost, let's talk about hitting the market and delayed reviewing of offers. Maddie Wright, you've been with me for how many months now? About 9 months?
Yeah.
She hasn't left yet. What day of the week do we hit the market with our listings?
Usually Thursday. Sometimes Friday, but usually Thursday or Wednesday afternoon.
Correct.
If Chris gets excited.
If I get too excited, I'm kind of like a kid at Christmas. I just need to have one present open on Christmas Eve. No, so we always try to hit the market second half of the week. The psychology behind this is what you got to understand. For the most part, real estate is a weekend kind of business, kind of like the car dealership, kind of like any retail. Most people are shopping for homes on the weekend. So the first thing to do to set yourself up correctly is to hit the market, preferably on a Thursday. Statistically, that's shown to be the best day. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you look at it, if you think about it, most people start thinking about the weekend on a Thursday. Would you agree? I mean,
I start thinking about the weekend on a Monday.
Well, she works for me, yeah. So she's like the Sunday night, she's thinking about the next weekend.
I'm crying in bed.
Mike, you really don't have weekends, right? It's just kind of like...
Well, I'm a business owner, so that's different.
Yeah. So like you have...
So you have no weekends either, Chris?
No,
as a business owner.
I have weekends, but my mind is thinking...
It's always going.
Yeah, I'm thinking about October and November for business.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just thinking about October and November for Halloween and Thanksgiving.
And Oktoberfest beer.
Well,
yes.
People depend on me for a paycheck, so...
Okay, all right. Back on topic. Yeah. Should I be thinking about that? I've got employees too.
I'm not bitter.
You have employee.
Yeah. I'm not thinking about that. So anyway, no, the reason people start thinking about real estate, just like they start thinking about most of their weekend activities on a Thursday, we activate a listing Thursday morning in an ideal situation. It syndicates out to all of the other real estate websites. So we flip the switch on active in the MLS Thursday morning. It trickles out all to the, Zillows, Realtors.coms, Trulias, Homes.com, Redfin, wherever you're getting your, listings. The email alerts get sent out to clients via those websites, via agents' websites. So come Thursday afternoon, when people are really starting to just kind of not think about working anymore, except for, of course, at my company, we're always thinking about work and working diligently, constantly, 24/7. That's when people start thinking about real estate. So why is this important? Because number one, you want to hit it. You don't want to hit like late on a Friday afternoon where people have already kind of made their weekend plans and they've already set up showings with agents and maybe it's a little too far gone. But you also don't want to hit the market too early in the week, because if you hit on a Monday or Tuesday and maybe you get one or two showings, people that jump on a property immediately, even make you a quick offer, now you're kind of in a weird spot where you got an offer on a Tuesday. You've got multiple showings booked for maybe the rest of the week, or maybe people haven't really thought about your listing, and you kind of get stuck between, do I take this one offer that I got that maybe it's not everything I'd ever hoped for, or do I kind of roll the dice and go into the weekend and see what comes of those showings? So that's why we always strategically want to hit the market on a Thursday. The other thing that we are doing, and we don't do this on every single listing, but we've been doing it on a lot of listings this year, given the demand, is we are going to do a delayed reviewing of offers. Maddie, from working with me, from experience, what is a delayed reviewing of offers?
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Well, Chris.
It just means that we put something in the MLS, usually something that we have in writing from the client that says we're more or less not supposed to review offers with clients until a certain date. So usually if we go active on a Thursday, we'll put something in there that says we're not reviewing offers until Monday. But I do have a question on that.
Yes.
Since we've been doing it a lot more recently.
You only get 3 questions, so you gotta make them count.
Dang it. How does it benefit the client? Why wouldn't we want to review them?
Wonderful softball of a question, Maddie.
Well, I'm not even playing dumb. I've always wondered this.
Nice. Yeah, so it is something where you want to be somewhat careful about it, because there are pros and cons to this strategy. It's not all, it doesn't always go right. Just like anything in real estate, I mean, we're kind of dealing in probabilities. But the reasoning behind it, if we have a property that we are fairly certain is going to sell, in other words, it's not really a question mark, it's we know we're going to get offers, then we'll do that. Or if we have a strong sense that we're going to get at least one offer, possibly even multiple offers, we're going to do this strategy. The reason being is because we know, hey, if we jump on the first offer that comes to us on, say, Thursday afternoon or Friday morning or something like that, it's cool on paper to say, hey, we got you an offer in 24 hours. But the reality is, sometimes if you sell something too quickly, you're not selling it for as much as you possibly can. Not all the times, but sometimes. So what buyers are trying to do, and we do this with our clients in this market where there's only but so many houses for sale and there's more buyers than there is inventory. If a home hits the market and they're not doing delayed reviewing of offers, we're going to try to jump on that property real quick. We're going to make them a great offer. We did this for the Millers, David and Vivian Miller. If you were listening, shout out to you guys. Property hit the market. It was interesting. We were actually in the neighborhood looking at another home. That one hit the market. They said, hey, this one just pinged my phone. Can we go take a look at it? Called the agent. We got them in immediately. We made them a full price offer. We said, hey, we want to hear by midnight tonight. And they accepted our offer. Now the agent told me they had multiple showings booked for the next day. So if we had gotten ourselves in a situation where now we're competing with 2 or 3 other people, we might have been willing to pay more than list price. But because we made them a full price offer and we said, hey, we want to hear, tonight, we don't want you to entertain those other showings tomorrow. Now they're in kind of a weird spot of, hey, we might be able to get more money if we get another offer tomorrow, but we don't want to lose this sure bet. It's kind of 1 in the hand versus 2 in the bush. Does that make sense?
I wonder why they didn't counter it then, if they knew that was a possibility.
Because, okay, but let me ask you this. If I give you a full price offer for your house. You've got 2 showings booked tomorrow. They may or may not turn out to something. but you got a full price offer in hand right now. Are you going to mess with that, or are you just going to take the sure bet and move on?
I don't know. I'm not a homeowner.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just enough, it allows enough doubt to creep in. And that's why we do that, because, hey, we don't want you to entertain these other showings because you may get something better. But if I make you a strong offer and I say, hey, I want to know tonight or I'm moving on, then, you know.
It's a powerful play.
I mean, it is a power play. So that's why we do it. So what you do when you delay reviewing of offers, you say, hey, I'm going to hit the market Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to let as many showings as possible through the door through the next 4 days. And that what we're going to do is we're going to review all of these offers on Monday. Back in 2009, 2010, even 2011, this is what the banks were doing with their foreclosures, because you had all these properties where they said, hey, we know these things are going to sell. We know folks are getting a great deal. What we don't want to do, originally they were selling them, you know, as soon as they got offers, they were happy to get them off their books because the world was melting. But what they started doing is they said, all right, let's take a step back. These things are going to sell. We know they're going to sell. We know they're going to sell quick. Sometimes they're getting bid up. What we're going to do now, we're going to list the property. We're not going to review offers for the first 5 days, 7 days, whatever it was. And what they realized, hey, now everybody and their mother gets to see the property over the weekend, and then we're just picking the best offer out of the litter on Monday versus, you know, the first person that jumps in front of it, and we're just excited to get an offer. So that's the psychology. So you really got to set yourself up for this. As far as the logistics of this, so what we put in our listing agreements is we have our clients consent, or we have them authorize us not to present offers until Monday. So we got to kind of commit to this strategy. We don't want to say we're not reviewing offers and then, you know, we end up doing that. I've done that before. It kind of pisses everybody off.
I was going to say, do clients ever get antsy and they're like, just tell me the offers?
They do. And I tell them, hey, I'm happy to present you the offers, but, you know, we got to have something in concrete writing saying that we're not going to accept any offer until Monday. And what that does is I've had agents, so I had this scenario. I had an agent where we said, I had an agreement with the client, hey, this is what we're going to do. It was kind of somewhat informal. I had an agent that, you know, we told them, hey, this is what we're doing, presented an offer, and they basically wrote in an expiration date before that time. Most agents wouldn't do that, but they were trying to strong arm us. So that forced me to present that offer. So now my client's in a weird spot because they made us a good offer. You know, we're pissing off everybody else that we've told, hey, you have until Monday to let us know. And then they're basically trying to jump in front of these other people. So that's why we get it in our listing and contracts. That way we can tell prospective buyers and agents, hey, our clients have mandated us to not present any offers, or have authorized us to say that we're not going to be reviewing any offers until Monday. So it's just, it's laying in concrete. You see a lot of crazy stuff here when the market is this hot, because folks are just, I mean, you've seen it just doing your work. I mean, folks are literally just trying to jump in front of houses. Would you agree?
Especially with the one that we got 9 offers on.
Yeah, so that was cool.
That was wild.
Yeah, so we used the strategy. We got 9 offers on a property. And the funny thing, so that was the bonds. Rich and Susan Bond. How you guys doing?
Did you see that someone commented on your post?
Oh, yeah, that was funny. So we did a just sold post on Facebook, and then we had somebody that I guess had seen the property, made an offer, commented like, oh,
I think I remember this person too.
I missed out on that one. Well, they could have made a better offer.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, true? No? Was that too cold? Was that too real? Okay.
Was that too raw? Was that too authentic?
Sorry.
Stone called Elliott.
Here's a tissue for the offer that you missed.
Yikes.
Offer more money. No, so yeah, that was cool. And the thing with the funny thing with the bonds is they were folks that had just bought a home. They had missed out on about half a dozen homes because they like to go out of town on the weekend to do, they square dance. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, she told me about that.
Yep.
She showed me her closet where she had all her stuff.
Yep.
It's like, that's so cool.
So we had some clients, they like to go to square dancing competitions or meets or whatever they call them on the weekends. So they would leave like Friday morning, and a house would hit the market like Friday afternoon, and it would be sold by Saturday, and they never had a shot. So they said, yeah, this doesn't make sense. Like, we would have paid them more money than what they actually got. So anyway, so multiple offers. First and foremost, you've got to set yourself up. You got to put yourself in a position to it. Maddie, what's the next point?
The next point is do we reveal whether or not we have offers?
Sure. So this one, and I'm not sitting here saying I'm, the guru or the know-it-all or, my way is the best way. What I found, though, so as a seller, as a listing agent, you are not obligated to reveal whether or not that you have offers. Did you know that?
I know you're not.
Or you're in real estate school right now, so you should know that.
Well, I was.
Yeah.
You're not
even
you're not supposed to, though. Like, right? You're not supposed to like give out the details of the offer if someone asks. I mean, there was one time where you had me let people know that we had offers in case they wanted to get in and look at it, but we're not obligated to say that.
So the cool thing about real estate is you are not obligated to respond to an offer.
You don't have to respond?
You don't even have to respond. So if somebody makes a super lowball offer, kind of like the whole we don't negotiate with terrorists, that's a strategy sometimes.
Because that's relatable.
Yeah,
Yikes.
It is relatable. I mean, same concept, though, is you make a ridiculous offer, we're not even going to justify it with a response.
Like Denny.
Yeah, and it's not even like an emotional thing.
So if some client captured Maddie and offered a lowball, and you had to accept it.
You wouldn't negotiate to rescue me.
All right. Let's play this game. Give me the scenario again. Give me the context. I want to hear this.
I captured Maddie.
Okay,
right?
I've been kidnapped.
I kidnapped her.
You're now a criminal. Okay,
right.
Mike's a criminal.
I'm holding her.
I got that.
I'm a fugitive.
I'm holding her
in this creepy basement that you got us set up in.
For house
in the cinder block room over there.
Right. So I'm off, and the only way that she can be released is if you accept my low ball offer.
Is it my property?
Like your personal house, like he offers like $20,000.
Any property that you're trying to sell.
Is it?
That's how I'm trying to relate it to your.
Like, do you care or not?
Is it my property or is it a client's property?
It's a client's property.
It's their decision.
Oh my God!
So now it's in the hands of the client.
What if it was your house?
But do you tell them? Do you tell them?
I'm a broker.
Do you tell them?
Mike, I've got a fiduciary interest to my clients.
Wow.
So,
what if it was your personal house? I'd like to know the answer to that.
I mean, if it's like $5-10 grand, then yeah, I'll cover the difference. Let's let her go.
Wow. Okay.
Deals
at a certain point, you could just train a new employee. So.
Wow. Okay. This is awesome.
Maddie, you just died.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. This is what I wanted.
Here's the thing. The question
and I know where Mike lives, so he's going to get arrested. We send in SEAL Team 6 before. No, we get the SWAT team in before I have to make the decision.
Do deals fall through knowing that they are offering this, and then that other person that had the lower offer, does that come in? Do you feel obligated to tell them then that, or you still not tell them?
That's a good question.
That's what I didn't understand that.
So you had an offer.
Yeah,
it's better than the low ball offer.
Sure.
The better deal falls through. There's still a low ball offer on the table that you haven't told them yet. Do you tell them?
Do we tell them they have another offer?
Yeah, but it's a low ball.
Well, you have to tell them any offer, right?
No. So here's the thing.
Well, you have to present any offer to your clients, right?
Yeah. So we've absolutely got to present any offer to our clients. But so I'm still confused by your question. But
so you're saying that if it was a low ball offer, you don't have to pay attention to it.
So I've got to present it to my client, but we do not have to get back to that agent with a response for that buyer. Now,
that's where you're missing. That's where I was trying to get you.
Yeah, you don't have to respond to the other agent at all.
To the agent.
Now, common courtesy, etiquette, real estate, not like in the rules, but just kind of etiquette. I might respond back to that agent and just say, hey, thanks, no thanks. We're not going to give you a counter or anything like that. But sometimes strategically it does make sense, depending on how the buyer has acted to just, sometimes no response. And if you study negotiation, I mean, that's certainly a topic.
You just say, try again.
They could that's what I was going to say. They could always, if you gave them the common courtesy to say that their offer was like crap, more or less, like they could come back with something better and that would benefit your client, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, we're getting a little off topic. I'm cool to go on tangents, but the psychology, we've got show notes here, people. Stick to the show notes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Now who's Caesar?
I spent a lot of time writing this content. All right.
Like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
In between phone calls?
Yeah. And I'm probably going to make Maddie do it from now on.
I was expecting that.
But no, so the reason that we don't reveal that, and to reveal whether or not, Maddie, you should know this from real estate school, whether or not you can reveal if you have offers is something that the client has to give you permission on.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So because that can go wrong too. A buyer could come in and say, oh, you've already got an offer. Yeah, we don't feel like competing. We're not going to be making an offer. So like sometimes when people are like, hey, we've got offers, and they just say that, you could be screwing your client because that could turn off buyer off. So what I found in this scenario where we're delaying reviewing of offers is my response is, hey, I'm not at liberty to say whether or not we have offers. My client hasn't authorized me. We've made the decision not to, disclose that information. The reason being is so if somebody calls me and asks that question on a Thursday, I might not have offers yet because, we're delaying reviewing offers until Monday. So sometimes it's Monday morning when folks submit their offer. Or it's going to be Sunday after the open house or something like that. So I don't want to say, hey, we don't have offers. And then they're like, okay, well, we're going to be a little more aggressive now because you don't have offers. And then I also don't want to disclose, hey, we've got 4 offers in hand on Sunday afternoon. And that one person who maybe was going to offer us the best offer
decides not to offer anything at
because
all.
they're like, hey, I don't feel like getting involved in this. Also, too, it's not necessarily fair to the folks that ask me that question on a Thursday because they're not aware of the other offers that we have, the 3 offers that we have on Sunday. They're making their offer on they're making their offer later in the weekend, thinking that we don't have offers when by Sunday we've gotten 2 or 3. So it just, in my opinion, it keeps it a little bit cleaner and simpler when you just say, hey, look, we're not disclosing any offers, let that nervous energy work on you as it may. If you're going to be scared, you're going to miss it. You're going to make a good offer. If you're going to be turned off by multiple bids, then, whatever.
You could
Does that make sense?
You could also, if they ask you that and then you kind of tell them, you could get yourself in trouble because you could have them perceived as you're getting yourself into an undisclosed dual agency situation.
Wait, what?
You don't want them to think that you're helping them present an offer to your clients because then you're representing yourself accidentally as an undisclosed dual agent. And that is illegal in the state of Virginia.
Whoa. All right there. I just got done with my course. Explain this to me again. I totally missed this.
Okay. So if they ask you about the offers that you have and you say, we get this offer for whatever, then more or less you're indirectly helping them construct their offer.
Sure.
So they could view you as an undisclosed dual agent, which would mean that you are unintentionally representing both sides.
To an unrepresented buyer.
Even a represented one. But most likely an unrepresented.
I'm so confused right now.
No, I'm saying
that
they could
scenario
think that you're...
doesn't happen. I mean, it's very
I'm just saying it
unlikely that happen.
could. I'm not saying it
Maddie
would.
just got done with her course,
Oh,
and
leave me
she's like,
alone.
hey, I just read this hypothetical case study that happened one time in
Listen.
Wyoming in the 1800s.
If
Let
I
me
can
tell
be
you about
smart
it.
about one thing,
Yep.
let me have it.
Yep, it's yours.
It's
yours.
too late.
All right, moving on. All right, so we talked about that. Maddie, tell the wonderful folks, what is our personal internal process? Not personal. What is our internal business process when we receive offers and when we receive multiple offers? Talk to me about that.
Okay, so we have a template offer spreadsheet that breaks down the offer price and everything else like personal property, concessions.
All of the terms of the contract, basically.
Yes.
Yes.
I was getting there.
Okay.
And then there's another
Not
tab.
quick enough.
Clearly, there's another tab that has the estimated, another estimated net sheet in addition to the one we've already provided that has their mortgage and all their other stuff that they're going to end up paying. And we put in the details of the offers against that so you can see right in front of you what you would make compared to other offers. And when we have multiple offers, we just add more tabs.
Yeah.
And more columns, and then you see them all back to back.
Yeah, so essentially, I mean, and this is just kind of like navigating through, okay, now you've actually got the multiple offers. What do you do with them? So we have a template spreadsheet. It's nothing crazy, nothing special. I put it together. I think it's pretty awesome. But it's not that special. So, no, pretty much what it is, on one tab of the spreadsheet, we break down all of the terms of the contract, or all the relevant terms, I should say. There's a little, it's a 9-page contract. So if we're going through 10 offers with a client, even 2 offers, reading through the 9-page contract and trying to remember, okay, which one had this and which one had that, it can become a nightmare. So just a clean 1-pager where you can see all of the terms of the contract and read through it. When we get multiple offers, we get multiple tabs, so you can just click through, okay, this is what this agent offered, this is what this one offered, this one offered. And then on the back side of that is we do an estimated net sheet. So like when we sit down with the folks originally to get the home listed, we're going to break down, hey, at multiple different price points, here's what you can expect to, within a $2,000 plus or minus kind of delta there, here's what you can expect to net from the sale. So what we're going to do is we're going to break that down and say, hey, this is what this offer is going to net you. This is what this one's going to net you, and on and on and on. Here's what we listed for and what we projected. And then we even give a little blank column. So say, hey, if you want to do a counter or something like that, fill in the blank, you can fill it out. So do you find clients kind of appreciate that? Or do they tell you they appreciate that? I haven't
heard a whole lot of feedback, but if I were a client, I would appreciate it.
Oh, thanks.
Breaks it down really easy for you. It sure beats reading the whole 9 pages.
I agree. All right, so we do that. We call our clients, and then we go through it. Now, a couple of things that we're looking for. So, Maddie, would you say conventional wisdom as a non-real estate agent, probably your first inclination is just to go for the one for the highest price?
I mean, yeah, but also it depends on what other stipulations the contract may have. Oh,
God, you're so smart.
I know. That's why you hired me.
That's right. Yeah. So one of the things that we're always encouraging our clients, I think the natural reaction, and I don't fault you for this. I mean, I certainly want to make the most money, anytime I'm selling something, but you got to be careful just looking at the highest price or the highest net dollar. The reason being is with any contract, there's always terms, there's always stipulations, there's always contingencies. So a couple of things that we're looking out for. We're telling people, hey, consider the financing. If somebody's coming in with cash or they're coming in where they're putting down a lot of cash, a conventional loan, they're naturally going to be a stronger buyer than, say, somebody that's getting FHA financing, only putting 3.5% down, VHDA putting 3% down, USDA or VA getting 100% financing, somebody getting grant programs, not to discriminate against anybody, but that's something you want to consider is the financial strength of that buyer. And then also too, when it comes to, if anybody's getting financing, the property has to go through an appraisal. If somebody's doing conventional financing, that is a much more relaxed, less of a standard appraisal than if somebody's getting like FHA, VA, VHDA, they have higher appraisal guidelines. So if there's anything necessarily wrong with the property, chipping paint, loose handrails, broken windows, any safety items, the lender could say, hey, we need to see this stuff fixed no matter what anybody's agreed to in the contract, or we're not making the loan. So something to consider there. Closing dates, if you want to close, we're always a fan of closing sooner than later, just because the longer the closing date, the more margin for error. So talk about that. Consider rentbacks. Maddie, what's a rentback?
I will tell you. So it's essentially after the house has been sold, we've gone to closing and everything, but the seller still lives there for a period of time.
Yeah.
Sort of rents it back from the new owners.
Yeah. So essentially you close, ownership of the property transfers to the buyer, but you as the seller get to stay in the property or rent it back for a certain period of time. This is something that is super cool if you are looking to, if you're selling and buying, this is nice so you don't have to move twice. So we want to look at those. We want to look at inspection contingencies. We want to look at other terms of the contract. We want to look at personal property if they're looking to take the fridge, the washer and dryer, anything like that. And we already talked about just don't jump on the highest offer. And then another strategy you can think of is you've got multiple offers. If you have a couple offers that are kind of neck and neck, or if you want to run, if you're a little more risk tolerant, what you could do too is you can go back to the top 2-3 offers, or even the top, maybe the second offer, and say, get them to adjust their offers or get them to compete with each other. So what you can do is you could say, hey, agent number 1, agent number 2, you guys both made comparable offers. It's kind of really hard to decipher between the two. We're giving you both the opportunity to come back with your highest and best, and then potentially squeeze a couple more bucks out of them, or offer offer number 1, maybe a little bit stronger financing. Offer number 2, higher price, less strength on the financing. You can go back to offer number 1 and you can say, hey, John over at wherever Realty, Banana Real Estate. Hey, John, Sarah over at, whatever, Pineapple Real Estate has made us an offer. We like your financing better. Right now you're beat out on price. My client's probably going to go with that offer. But if you can get your client up another $5,000, we'll go with you guys. We'll do the happy dance. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So cool. So that was multiple offers. I'm being told by our wonderful production team that I'm talking too much. We need to wrap this up. So let's jump into the fire round and let's get some questions from the social medias.
Okay, I have one that says, if you're a buyer, how do you make the best offer in a multiple offer situation?
Yeah, this is a good question. And it's certainly been tough for buyers this year just with the lack of inventory, and it feels like every property, especially under 300 in our market, has just been ending up in a multiple offer situation. Probably the smartest thing that you can do is have your agent, which they should know to do this already, but if they don't, have your agent call the listing agent. This is profound. Call the listing agent and say, hey, Mr. Listing Agent, Mrs. Listing Agent, my client really likes your property. We want to make sure we get this property. What are you guys looking for in an offer outside of just price? Obviously, they always want to get the highest price, but they could be looking for other terms. They could want to rent the property back because they need to go find their next property. They could want to close quickly. They could, you could put a additional term in there that says, hey, anything under $3,000 that's found on the home inspection, we're just going to take it as is. There's a lot of ways that you can get creative. You can do an escalation clause, which I don't know.
That was my next question.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you can do there. Ask the question, though, what can we do to beat out this other offers? What do you have? Where do we need to be to get this property? Ask those probing questions, and a lot of times you'll find out. Another thing, not really you can do as a buyer, but if you're making sure that you're working with a great agent that has good relationships with other agents in the community, because I know there's certain agents, they call me, I would never want to deal with them again. There's other agents, you know who I'm talking about. Don't give me that look. We're not going to name names on this podcast, but there's a couple agents where we're like, oh God, please don't write me an offer. You were absolutely terrible to deal with. And then there's other agents that call me and I'm like, dude, I would love to do another deal with that person.
Can I name names for that?
No, because this is our podcast and we're paying for it. So we don't want to promote other agents. All right. What's the next question?
Yes. Escalation clauses. At what point would that benefit? At what point should you throw in an escalation clause?
Yeah, so let's define an escalation clause. So these are kind of cool. They kind of come out in these great markets and then we don't see them for a couple of years. They go back into hiding. But an escalation clause. So let's say a home is listed for $300,000. Let's say you're willing to pay up to $310,000 for said property. But you don't want to come in out of the gate just offering them $310 because maybe they'll take $300, but you also don't want to lose the property. So what you could say, you can go to the homeowner, you can say, hey Maddie, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you an offer for $300,000. Okay, but here's the deal: if you get another offer, I am willing to beat out that offer by $1,000. So I'm going to go $1,000 higher than any other offer that you have, up to $310. I'm not going above $310, but I'll go up to $310. So that's a cool way to make an offer, not fully extend yourself right from the get-go, but also not lose a property, because you got beat out or you weren't willing to go up a little bit higher. And when to use them in multiple offer situations, or if you feel like there's potentially a better offer on the table, or there could be.
Do you worry the home might not appraise at that point?
Yeah, so that's something as a listing agent, and once again, we can go really deep on this, but that's something you're always mindful of. Hey, can they afford the price that they're offering us up to? Is the property going to appraise? Are we going to run into any issues later? And those are always considerations. I don't know if we have the time to go into it on this podcast. Mike's saying no.
Okay.
Apparently our studio time is up. Our paid session is coming to an end here.
Ooh. So what do you do if your lender doesn't allow a rent back?
Somebody's lender didn't allow a rent back?
Yeah, can you believe that?
That's weird. Yeah, so sometimes lenders don't like rent backs because they want to know that the buyer that's buying the property has moved into the property. But in my experience, so long as the buyer has moved into the property within 60 days of closing, most lenders don't mind that. The other thing is too, a lot of times, and it's kind of this weird thing with lenders where we're like, we're not telling them stuff, and they're like, hey, as long as you don't tell me. But I usually say, hey, let's just not send the lender the rent back agreement. It's not necessarily something you have to provide. At least I don't think. But sometimes, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. And that's one of those things where if we could just keep it out of their hands, then they're none the wiser. And we're, hopefully I don't get like a RESPA violation by saying that. But it could be bad. Might have to lay off staff. Next question.
I have one more.
Yes.
Would you ever say you have multiple offers when you don't?
Ooh, good question. I am not going to reveal whether or not I would, because
it's an ethical faux pas.
That'd be like taking my Batman mask off. Don't want to share all our secrets, but the one thing that I always encourage clients to think about is because you see these real estate shows, $1 million listing, whatever, and they always play hardball. And it just magically always works out. It never, they bluff and nobody ever calls them on the bluff, or it always ends up.
They get lucky.
Yeah, they get lucky. Here's the thing in real life. Sometimes people call your bluff and it sucks. So I always encourage clients, be careful, because if you say you've got multiple offers or you've got another offer and you don't, and then they get turned off by that and then you lose that opportunity, now you have nothing.
Yeah.
And that's something to think about versus coming out with the truth. And maybe you didn't get as good as offer as you could, but you've actually got an offer. So I'm not a big fan of lying, and just also know that it could come back to bite you in the backside. So
makes sense.
Any more questions, Mike? Do we have a question from any of the social mediums?
I got one just now. So someone wants to know if Maddie is still, is it Daryl? Wants to know if you're still single.
If I'm single?
Whoa, Daryl.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, apparently Daryl turned in late to the podcast.
Apparently.
Maddie, do you want to handle that one?
All right. Thanks for tuning into this show.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm not.
I don't think that wasn't a quick response.
No,
that was
I just wanted to leave that alone and move on.
I don't know if I want to be committed.
No, I am not single.
Okay.
So I can go home and sleep peacefully.
Moving on. All right. That wraps up episode number 2. How to get and handle multiple offers. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Leave us some feedback. Leave us some comments. We want to know what you guys want to hear. Give us a review on Apple iTunes if you'd be so kind. And signing off, have a great day.
Have a great day.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us for the Chris Elliott Real Estate Show. If you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, please contact Chris Elliott at chris@chriselliottrealestate.com or by phone at 804-980-1898. And please join us again next time for the Chris Elliott Real Estate Show.